With American car buyers' recent obsession with crossovers and the recent rise of electrification, I'm happy to see that Volkswagen is still producing this Jetta GLI S. In the mid-2000s, the Volkswagen brand was known for providing sleek, stylish, luxurious Audi-like interiors with driving dynamics to die for, with a reasonable price tag as well. So, the question that I want answered, does Volkswagen still have the same spark that they used to have in the early 2000s? Stay tuned to find out. In 2020, Volkswagen sold 82,000 Jettas, and there's a lot of factors and reasons why that number is so low. One is because of COVID, and then the other reason is due to the recent chip shortage as well. Word on the street is, though, in 2022, Volkswagen will be producing a brand new 2022 Jetta because the Golf generation is also coming out later this year, so we should be expecting that sometime within the next year or so, they'll be giving us a new Jetta. But with this being the performance model of the Jetta, let's just go right into the powertrain and performance figures. So 0 to 60 is in 5.6 seconds with the optional 7-speed dual clutch automatic transmission. This is the one that we have here. It does the same sprint in 5.8 seconds with the standard 6-speed manual transmission. This is thanks to the brilliant 2.0 turbocharged 4-cylinder engine that pumps out 288 horsepower and 258 pound-feet of torque. MPG is going to be 24 in the city and 32 in the highway, which is honestly really pretty good for this being the performance variant of this car. You could get something with a little bit more horsepower. I believe around like 40 more horsepower. You could get yourself a Subaru WRX with all-wheel drive, but at the same time would be a little bit heavier as well. But you would also be getting all-wheel drive with that car as well, something that this car does not have. This is front-wheel drive bias, but with this vehicle being front-wheel drive, this comes with a slip differential. So the exterior styling of the Jetta looks pretty good. So the exterior styling of this GLI model of the Jetta looks pretty good. Right on the front end of the grille right here, it has this red line that you cannot miss, and this is how you know that it's going to be the GLI model. And it also has GLI badges all throughout the car and accents all throughout the car as well. Now, on the front fascia, you're getting a full LED headlight setup. It's going to be a LED daytime DRL. It's kind of like a nice square shape. It's very minimalistic and it looks really good at night. You're going to have a low and high beam LED lights as well. Sadly, strangely actually, there's an incandescent turn signal here, which is kind of throwing me off because the rest of the exterior of the car has a full LED setup. So I just don't understand why Volkswagen kind of cheaped out there on that part. Now, on the bottom right here, I was kind of expecting to have like fog lights or something like that. You don't even get that in the Autobahn model. I feel like if it had fog lights, it would really just fill out the bottom of the front bumper, and it would look really good at night, and it would really finish the Jetta off. Some of the functions right here with the intakes are real, and some of them aren't. Some of them are just fake plastics. Some of them are functional, but some of them aren't. Moving around to the side over here, the GLI version of the Jetta, it looks really good on the side profile with these gunmetal finished wheels. I really like the way that they look. It has like a black gunmetal finish. It kind of reminds me of Audi in a way. It looks razor scissor sharp. I just love the way it looks. It really makes me think of Audi. You have more GLI badging on the sides, and I love this pure gray color that this comes in. It kind of reminds me of Audi's Norauto gray. It really looks like it, but Volkswagen calls it pure gray. There's not too many options color-wise for this GLI version. This color I probably wouldn't go with because it kind of just mutes the car a little too much for me, and this car is already just a little underwhelming already as is. So I would probably just go with the optional red color or the white. I feel like the white would look really good with the red accents. Coming around to the side of the profile of the vehicle, it has a nice stance and a nice ride height. It looks really good from this angle. You can really see that there's a lot of Audi like A4 inspiration on the side profile, especially when you come around this side of the vehicle. You can really tell this looks like kind of like a mini, I want to say like a bigger A3, but also an A4 at the same time. The Jetta has always been a class above when it comes to how long it is and how big the vehicle is. I've been saying this for a while. Jettas have always had the best interior space and comfort space as well. It kind of shoots in a class above. It honestly shoots in like mid-size sedan segment. When it comes to size, it's very competitive with like an Altima when it comes to size. There's not much happening around here. You do have a little diffuser right here. One thing that I am excited about, the exhaust tips are actually real. A lot of Audi products lately have been going to fake exhaust tips, especially with their performance models, and I'm not a big fan of that. I just don't understand why the industry is going to putting fake exhaust tips on cars right now. I think it really looks ugly on that brand new Infiniti that just came out. It's just filled with nothing but chrome. But like I said, the back of the car has full LED headlights, well, full LED taillights, LED turn signals. It looks very handsome from this angle, and I see why a lot of people are attracted to this vehicle. But like I said before, style is subjective, and for me, this just wouldn't work for me. Alright, stepping in the interior of the GLI S, you have injected molded plastic all throughout the vehicle. It's a pretty cheap material that they use. There is some soft touch points on some parts of the dash that I do notice. Your window switches are all for touch up and down. That's actually really good for this segment. You also get heated rear view mirrors as well. And like I said before, on the top end Autobahn model, you would get a full digital cockpit display. It's a little bit of a dumbed down version of the Audi's version of it, but it's still pretty good. Moving on over to the center stack display over here, it's a pretty nice system. It's not too big. Honestly, for it being the S model, I would think that they would have made it just a little bit bigger. It's pretty touch interactive. It's not slow at all. You're able to get to all your settings very clearly. Everything is laid out pretty well here. This car also comes with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. This does not have navigation standard, but if you're using Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, you can just go straight to this, and it doesn't even make sense to have it. Most manufacturers aren't even offering it as much anymore because everyone's just going straight to Apple CarPlay. It's pretty quick as well on the Apple CarPlay side. You're able to get to things relatively quick. This also has a backup camera as well. It's not much happening around here. It doesn't have trajectory or turning assist or anything like that. You would not find that in this model. Coming down to the climate control settings, you have heated seats, 3 levels, and it comes in on the non-leather package as well, which is a little bit surprising, but it's a good feature to have. Coming down here, now this is where I also have another problem. I am one trim beneath the top of the line model, and I have so many empty buttons. Why are there so many empty buttons here, Volkswagen? Even the Autobahn model has the same amount of empty buttons. This is very disappointing. And when people get into this car, they're gonna wonder, why are there so many empty buttons? But anyway, You also have your digital, well, not digital, electronic parking brake. Remind you that this is the dual clutch automatic standard. This comes with the stick shift. You also have your drive mode selector right here as well. As you change from eco, normal to sports, the interior cabin lighting also changes with it too. So when you're in sport, the interior turns to like a nice red ambiance. When you're in custom, I believe that turns into a blue. Eco turns into a blue. Normal turns into a white. There are 9 colored options for this car with the interior lighting. It's really mostly on the front of the cabin, not on the rear back seat doors or anything like that. You won't be finding that anywhere behind the front 2 seats. But I do like the infotainment display and how everything works. Now, if you step it up to the Autobahn model, you will be getting Beat sound system. This just has Volkswagen's just regular sound system, and honestly, it sounds like other garbage. It sounds terrible. I think every Beats product that is in a car has been just tremendously just terrible. I believe it's a Panasonic unit, but it's just labeled Beats. It's really not worth it at the end of the day. Like I said, this comes with, this is the non-leathered version of the car. This is the S. If you want the leathered, then you would have to step it up to the Autobahn model. And I was expecting at least the plaid seating that Volkswagen is usually known for, but you're not getting that here. Like I said, it's a lot of hard touch plastics and a lot of just flimsy materials in here. But at certain points and certain angles, you would be able to tell that this is a Audi inspired interior, just by the way that the dash is flowing and by the way that the dash just kind of just comes out at you. I really like that. It reminds me of an A5 a little bit in here, just a smad bit. Coming up to the top over here, there is halogen bulbs, and that's an extreme disappointment. With the complete outside of this car having full-blown LED headlights, except for the turn signals, I was expecting Volkswagen not to cheap out there, but hey, you gotta cut costs somewhere. All right, so hopping into the back seat, I am sitting directly behind myself. I am about 5'10" to be exact, and I'm pretty comfortable. I have enough room. I would not mind sitting back here in a long drive. Like I said earlier, this car is basically a class above when it comes to interior comfort and legroom. It's kind of in the mid-size segment when it comes to interior space. And if that's a really important thing for you and you really don't want to step it up into the mid-size tier, this might be the car for you, especially if you have kids that are growing. So continuing on with the back seat space, there's not much that's happening back here at all. The style is not my style. It's very bland, it's very plain Jane, it's very vanilla, very just economy car-like in here. And I've seen better just from the competitors and the competitors, as in like the Mazda 3, the Civic even looks better. It's so many better options that you could get when it comes to interior quality and actual design. Now, as you drive the Jetta, it's very similar to what you would experience in the GTI hatch. And that's a good and a bad thing, because a lot of the driving dynamics that makes that car so much fun to drive are here. But it's still front-wheel drive, of course, so you get a lot of the weird things that happen with that when you're driving with the traction control on. Yes, you have the Heldex front-end differential that helps you to pull through turns and makes corrections, but when you have the traction control on, it is absolutely extremely over-the-top hyperactive. And because of the way that the front differential works, even with traction control off, you always feel a slight interference, and that's the same thing with the new GTI. But the deal with it is, at least you have unlimited slip differential. It's a mechanical system. I feel like the suspension cannot handle going over hard, rough pavement too well. You tend to get a lot of like wheel hop while you're driving it, and it just makes a very dramatic experience when you're trying to drive this thing really hard and aggressive, and you're making turns and curves a lot. But that would be like the really main downfall. This is the dual clutch 7-speed automatic, and it is really, really good. I always love the way that Volkswagen paired their transmission with their engine. It's a lot of low-end torque, and it can be good and bad because, once again, this is front-wheel drive, so we just spin it. This commuter car could honestly be driven every single day, just like the GTI, just like the GLI has always been. Yet it still has plenty of torque just to get it going. It's just hard to get a car like this as much when you know there are electric cars that are so fast. They're for only $32,000. This car is still a good deal, but you could get into a Model 3 for another $8,000, and it's faster than this. It's all electric, so I'm very curious to see what Volkswagen does for the next GLI and the next GTI, because this car is still very much fun. It just kind of represents an old school way of doing fun, and that's not a bad thing. This is definitely a good thing. Now, in terms of the fuel economy, 2433 it's rated to get, and I've been averaging around 26 miles to the gallon and doing this a lot. So premium is recommended. You can get away with using regular in this car, but you probably should put premium in it just to get the best performance. But what a fun car. It's still very good. This is very, now that the SI is not here anymore, you can really compare this to the Hyundai Elantra N-Line, which has less horsepower and torque, but I would wait for the Elantra N, because that would definitely be more fun. But this is still in the more refined side of things, and more laid-back type of car and laid-back type of driver for this type of car. But there's still something to be liked about the Volkswagen GLI and GTI family of performance cars. So I think if you're in the market for a compact sedan and you're just looking for something to have a little bit of fun in, but not have those racer boy looks like some of the other offerings might give you, like the WRX and the Civic Type R, or just the Civic Si, which was recently just discontinued, I think this might be the car for you. But if you're looking for something with a little bit of style and just a little bit of flair, Volkswagen is not offering that to you. This base GLIS starts at $26,000. Now, if you want the full-blown, fully loaded version with the leather seats and the digital cockpit display and the panoramic size sunroof as well, you would have to step it up to the Autobahn model for a little bit above $30,000. Now, that is a little expensive, but still at the same time, it's a good car. Years ago, I would have said that was mid-size sedan territory for how much a car would cost. But the whole entire car market is just getting more expensive and more expensive and more expensive. So this is honestly just a really good buy for someone that just has kids, but at the same time they still have a little racer boy in them, but they are also conservative at the same time. This would be a really good car for you. So if you're in the market for it, visit your Volkswagen dealership and give it a test drive for yourself, and you see how you like it. But thank you so much for watching. please like and subscribe. It helps me out a lot with YouTube and the algorithms, and it really gets my videos out there. I'm going to be producing a lot more car content and a lot more reviews and just everyday car stuff that I think I could really help you guys out with. But my name is Tyreek Small. This is What's Next Reviews, and thank you for watching so much. Have a good one.